Rain on the window, blues in my soul. Rain is falling on the window like 1,000 little tears, and I've been sitting here alone, thinking about the years. The city lights are fading through the water on the glass. Every memory comes back again, every moment of the past. There's an old guitar beside me and a whiskey on the table. I'm trying to keep my heart at peace, I'm trying to stay stable. But every time the thunder rolls, I hear that old refrain, and every drop against the glass sounds like you calling my name. Rain on the window, blues in my soul. The night keeps getting colder, but I can't let go. Rain on the window, blues in my soul. Some memories stay forever, some stories will never close. I remember late September, when the nights were warm and slow. We would sit beneath the streetlight and watch the evening glow. You would tell me all your dreams, I would listen through the night, and never knowing those small moments would become my favorite life. Now the same old street is empty and the same old moon is high, but there's nobody beside me, and I don't know the reason why. I keep looking through the window like I'm waiting for your car, but the only thing approaching is the rain from somewhere far. Rain on the window, blues in my soul. The night keeps getting colder, but I can't let go. Rain on the window, blues in my soul. Some memories stay forever, some stories never close. Myself a whiskey just to warm these tired hands, but the whiskey can't explain what my heart still understands. You can travel down 1,000 roads, you can cross 1,000 towns, but you can't outrun a memory when the sun goes down. I've tried to change my number, I've tried to change my name, but every old blues melody still brings me back the same. Maybe love is like the weather, you can't tell it where to go. Maybe some storms last forever, maybe some winds never slow. So I'll sit here in the darkness with this old guitar tonight, and I'll play until the morning underneath the porch light. Rain on the window, blues in my soul. Let the old guitar keep singing, let the lonely river roll. Rain on the window, blues in my the night won't bring you back. I'll let the music take control. I remember your old blue dress and the way you used to smile. I remember driving nowhere just to stay with you a while. We didn't need a destination, we didn't need a plan. We had nothing but the moment and each other's hands. Sometimes I wish I could return there just for one more rainy night, just to hear you say my name underneath that porch light. But time don't turn around and the past don't change its mind. All we have are little moments that we carry through our lives. Rain on the window, blues in my soul. The years keep moving forward, but the memories won't go. Rain on the window, blues in my soul. I've learned that missing someone is a story never told. The rain is getting heavy, the thunder shakes the room, and every shadow on the wall looks like you coming through. I close my eyes and listen to the rhythm of the storm. For a second I can feel you, and the lonely room feels warm. Maybe that's enough for me, maybe that's all I need. A little piece of yesterday to help my tired heart breathe. So let the rain keep falling, let the old guitar cry, let the moon hide behind the cloud, let the midnight pass me by. I don't need to forget you, I don't need to understand. Some memories are beautiful, even when they leave a scar. Rain on the window, blues in my soul. Every drop tells a story, every chord makes me whole. Rain on the window, blue. The guitar remember what she forgot. The midnight rain was falling on the streets of an old town. I was sitting with my guitar while the whole world was shutting down. There was whiskey on the table, there was smoke above my head. Every photograph beside me of all the things we left unsaid. I picked up my old guitar and I played that first refrain. Every string began remembering everything we couldn't say. The guitar remembered what she forgot, every little moment, every little thought, every kiss beneath the neon light, every promise made in the middle of the night. The guitar remembered I played those 6 old strings, I heard the sound of everything. She used to love the rain. She would sit beside the window with her fingers wrapped around mine, while the city lights were glowing. She would laugh when I played softly. She would close her eyes and sway, never knowing every melody would become a memory someday. We thought we'd have forever. We thought the night would never end. We thought every broken promise could somehow be repaired again. But time has its own rhythm, and love can lose its way. Sometimes people walk away before we know what to say. The guitar, remember what she forgot. Every little moment, every little thought, every kiss beneath the neon light, every promise made in the middle of the night. The guitar, remember what she forgot. All the love that time could never stop. And when I played those 6 old strings, I heard the sound of everything. I remember driving slowly down that old Mississippi road. Rain was falling on the windshield, and you said you wanted to go. I didn't ask where you were going, I didn't ask you why. I just kept my hands upon the wheel and watched the darkness passing by. There was music on the radio, there was thunder in the sky, and somewhere in that silence we both knew it was goodbye. I wanted to say I loved you, but the words stayed in my chest. I thought there would be tomorrow, I thought tomorrow knew the rest. Now every road I travel has your shadow somewhere near, and every old familiar song makes your voice suddenly appear. The guitar, remember what she forgot. It remembers every scar and every thought. It remembers how she held my hand before she walked away and left me where I stand. A guitar, remember what she forgot. tried to forget the old days. I tried to burn the photographs. I tried to find another love, and tried to make the old pain pass. But you can't erase a feeling, a flowing memory. The midnight rain was falling on the streets of an old town. I was sitting with my guitar while the whole world was shutting down. There was whiskey on the table, there was smoke above my head, and a photograph beside me of all the things we left unsaid. I picked up my old guitar and I played that first refrain. Every string began remembering everything we couldn't say. The guitar remembered what she forgot. Every little moment, every little thought, every kiss beneath the neon light, every promise made in the middle of the night. The guitar remembered what she forgot. All the love that time could never stop. And when I played those 6 old strings, I heard the sound of everything. She used to love the rain. She would sit beside the window with her fingers wrapped around mine while the city lights were glowing. She would laugh when I played softly. She would close her eyes and sway, never knowing every melody would become a memory someday. We thought we'd have forever. We thought the night would never end. We thought every broken promise could somehow be repaired again. But time has its own rhythm, and love can lose its way. Sometimes people walk away before we know what to say. The guitar remembered what she forgot. Every little moment, every little thought, every kiss beneath the neon light, every promise made in the middle of the night. The guitar remembered what she forgot. All the love that time could never stop. And when I played those 6 old strings, I heard the sound of everything. I remember driving slow down that old Mississippi road. Rain was falling on the windshield, and you said you wanted to go. I didn't ask where you were going, I didn't ask you why. I just kept my hands upon the wheel and watched the darkness passing by. There was music on the radio, there was thunder in the sky, and somewhere in that silence we both knew it was goodbye. I wanted to say I loved you, but the words stayed in my chest. I thought there would be tomorrow, I thought tomorrow knew the rest. Now every road I travel has your shadow somewhere near, and every old familiar song makes your voice suddenly appear. The guitar remembered what she forgot. It remembers every scar and every thought. It remembers how she held my hand before she walked away and left me where I past, and the guitar remembered what she forgot. It remembers all the love we lost, and when the rain begins to fall, I hear her memory through it all. I tried to forget the old days. I tried to burn the photographs. I tried to find another love and tried to make the old pain pass. But you can't erase a feeling by throwing memories away. Some things become a part of you and never really fade. So I kept the old guitar, I kept the photograph too. I kept the whiskey on the table and the memories of you. Maybe I'm not meant to forget. Maybe that's not what love requires. Maybe some old memories keep our hearts from turning tired. The guitar remembered what she forgot. It remembers every place we lost, every empty chair, every lonely room, every midnight waiting for the morning to come. The guitar remembered what she forgot, every word she left behind. And every time I play these strings, I see her standing in my mind. There's a bar down by the river where the old blues players meet. I used to play there every Friday when the town was still asleep. The bartender knows my story. He never asks me anymore. He just pours another whiskey and leaves the bottle by the door. Sometimes he hears me playing and he turns the music low, because he knows some songs are memories that nobody needs to know. I play until the morning, I play until the rain. I play because the music makes me feel her once again. The guitar remembered what she forgot, and somehow that's enough for me, 'cause every note brings back a piece of who we used to be. The guitar remembered what she forgot, and maybe someday I'll understand why some people leave our lives but leave their music in our hands. The night is getting colder, the rain is getting stored, but I 3 a.m. blues for a quiet mind. At 3 in the morning when the whole world disappears, I sit beside the window and listen to my fears. The rain is falling softly across the empty street, and every drop of water sounds like a slow heartbeat. There's a guitar on the table, there's whiskey by my side, and all the things I couldn't say are waiting here night. 3 a.m. blues for a quiet mind. When you're searching for some peace to find, let the rain fall down, let the old guitar cry, let the blues stay with you until the night passes by. 3 a.m. blues for a quiet mind. Leave all your trouble somewhere behind. Close your tired eyes, let the music take control. Let these midnight melodies bring some peace into your soul. I used to chase the answers to questions with no end. I thought I had to understand why every road would bend. But time has taught me something that pain could never teach. Sometimes peace is waiting just beyond our reach. Sometimes you don't need answers, sometimes you need the rain. Sometimes an old guitar can carry all your pain. 3 a.m. blues for a quiet mind. When you're searching for some peace to find, let the rain fall down, let the old guitar cry, let the blues stay with you until the night passes by. Hear the distant highway, I see the city glow. There are people driving somewhere, but I don't need to go. Tonight I'm staying right with this old 6-string friend, playing every broken feeling till the darkness ends. There's something about midnight that makes the heart confess all the things we hide at daytime come out when we need rest. The moon is behind the clouds, The stars are barely seen, but somehow in the darkness the world feels calm and clean. 3 a.m. blues for a quiet mind. When you're searching for some peace to find, let the rain fall down, let the old guitar cry, let the blues stay with you until the night passes by. No need to run and no need to hide. The rain was falling slowly when she walked through that door. I watched her take her suitcase, and I knew I'd see her no more. The old clock kept on ticking, like nothing had gone wrong. But something broke inside me before the last song ended. She said she needed freedom. I said I understood, but every word between us was never what it should. I reached for my old guitar and played our favorite song, but she was already leaving before the last song ended. She left before the last song ended, before I could say goodbye. She left before the last song ended and took the sunlight from my sky. Now every rainy midnight I hear that melody, and every lonely guitar string still sounds like you to me. I remember that old cafe where we used to sit at night. You'd smile beneath the neon, everything felt right. We talked about tomorrow, we dreamed about the years, never knowing tomorrow would disappear in tears. I should have held you closer, I should have made you stay, I should have told you everything I never knew how to say. But pride can build a wall that love can't always break, and sometimes one small silence becomes a lifelong ache. She left before the last song ended, before I could change her mind. She left before the last song ended and left our memories behind. Now the rain keeps falling on this old window pane, and every drop reminds me of everything that changed. I pour another whiskey and sit beside the light. The guitar rests beside me like an old friend tonight. I play the song we love, but I never play it through, because the final verse still sounds too much like losing you. She left before the last song ended, before the final chord was played. She left before the last song ended, before the promise we had made. Maybe somewhere down the highway she's listening to the rain. Maybe she remembers my voice calling her name. Maybe she found another. Maybe she's finally free. Maybe she never thinks about the man she left behind to grieve. That I still remember everything, the perfume and the rain, the way she turned around once before she walked away. That final look she gave me still follows me tonight, like headlights disappearing down a lonely road at night. She left before the last song ended, and I never learned why. Some goodbyes have no answers, some tears refuse to dry. So I'll keep playing slowly until the morning comes. I'll let this old guitar say what my heart has become. The bartender remembered. He asked me where you'd gone. I told him some people disappear before you know they're gone. He poured me one more whiskey and turned the music low. Sometimes you don't need answers when there's nowhere left to go. She left before the last song ended, and maybe that's the way some stories lose their ending, some hearts don't get to stay. But if you ever hear this blues on some rainy midnight drive, know that somewhere in the darkness your memory is still alive. I don't hate you for leaving, I don't blame you anymore. I just wish I'd said I loved you before you reached that door. The guitar keeps on crying, the rain keeps falling down, and somewhere in the distance the last train leaves this town. She left before the last song ended, before the rain keeps falling on the window tonight, and the city is sleeping beneath the street light. There's a bottle of whiskey in this old guitar, and memories waiting wherever you are. I hear the thunder rolling down the highway. I hear your voice in every word that I play. The room is empty, but I still feel your name. Some things disappear, but love stays the same. Whiskey rain and a guitar at 2 a.m. That's all I've got since I lost you again. One glass for the memories, one song for the pain, one lonely heart listening to the sound of the rain. I remember your smile underneath the neon, the way you held me when the night was gone. We didn't know those nights wouldn't last. We thought tomorrow would forget the past. Now every road seems longer without you. Every old song tells me what I already knew. I should have told you before you walked away how much I loved you every single day. Whiskey rain and a guitar at 2 a.m. That's all I've got since I lost you again. One glass for the memories, one song for the pain, one lonely heart listening to the sound of the rain. I try to drown your memory in whiskey, but your face keeps floating back to me. I try to lose you somewhere down the road, but some hearts carry what they cannot let go. There's an old photograph beside my bed, 1,000 words that we never said. I touch that picture when the night gets cold and wonder where all those years have gone. Maybe somewhere you're listening tonight, maybe you're looking at the same moonlight. Maybe the rain is falling where you are. Maybe you're in this old guitar. Whiskey rain and a guitar at 2 a.m. I'd still remember exactly where we began. One glass for the memories, one song for the pain, one lonely heart listening to the sound of the rain. The clock keeps moving, but I'm standing still, waiting for a feeling that time cannot kill. The whiskey burns, but it can't change the truth. Every midnight still brings me back to you. I walk down the street where we used to meet, rain on the pavement beneath my feet. The old blues bar was still shining bright, but there was nobody waiting for me tonight. I sat by the window and ordered one more, watched the rain running down the old wooden door. The bartender asked if I wanted another. I said no tonight. I'm thinking of her whiskey rain and a guitar to am. Sometimes loneliness is all there remains. One glass for the memories, one song for the pain, one lonely heart listening to the sound of the rain. I don't blame you for leaving me. Some people were never meant to stay, but every goodbye leaves a melody, and every memory refuses to fade. So I'll keep playing this old guitar under the midnight sky and the falling stars. If you ever hear these notes in the rain, know that I loved you through every pain. Whiskey rain and a guitar to I am. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally understand why some love stay inside us long after they're gone, while some old memories keep playing till dawn. The rain is slowing down now. The night is losing its sound. The first light of morning is coming around. I look at the whiskey, I look at the guitar, and realize your memory The clock just struck 12. Rain is falling slow. There's whiskey in my glass and nowhere left to go. Whiskey tastes different after midnight, when the whole town goes to sleep. Whiskey tastes different after midnight, when your memories run too deep. There's a photograph beside me and a shadow on the wall. I keep staring at that empty chair, like you're gonna come home after all. The neon sign keeps flickering through the rain outside my door. I've heard that sound 1,000 times, but tonight it hurts much more. I pour another glass of whiskey, try to quiet down my mind, but every sip just brings me back to everything I left behind. Whiskey tastes different after midnight when you're drinking it alone. It don't taste like Tennessee. It tastes like coming home. Whiskey tastes different after midnight when there's nobody to call. You can fill the glass with golden fire, but it won't fill your heart at all. Oh, midnight whiskey won't take your memories away. Midnight whiskey just makes you remember yesterday. I remember that old bar room where we used to meet at night. You would sit beside the window underneath the neon light. You'd laugh when I'd play guitar. You'd say, baby, play it slow. I didn't know those little moments were the ones I'd miss the most. We never talked about forever. We just thought we had more time. Now forever feels like yesterday, and yesterday is always on my mind. There's an old song on the radio, playing low beneath the rain, and every word that singer said sounds like calling out your name. Whiskey tastes different after midnight when the street lights disappear. It tastes like all the words I swallow every time I held you near. Whiskey tastes different after midnight when the room is dark and cold. It can't bring back the hands I held or the heart I couldn't hold. Oh, midnight whiskey, you know the truth about me. You know every lonely road that brought me back to this empty seat. I tried to blame the highway, I tried to blame the rain, I tried to blame the old guitar for every bit of pain. I blame the changing seasons, I blame the passing years. But the truth was sitting with me in a bottle full of tears. Maybe I should have told you how much you meant to me. Maybe I should have stayed that night instead of letting you leave. Maybe love don't disappear. Maybe it just learns to hide. Maybe every lonely midnight keeps it living deep inside. If I could turn the clock backwards, I'd go back before goodbye. I put my guitar on the table and look straight into your eyes. I tell you I was frightened. I tell you I was right. Rain keeps falling on my window tonight, and the whole world feels so far away. There's a whiskey glass sitting beside me, and some words I never learned to say. I've been sitting by this window, watching headlights fade away. Every drop against the glass sounds like something I should say. There's an old guitar beside me with a story in every string. I keep touching those old frets, but I can't make my heart sing. There's a photograph on the table, getting older in the light. I can see the face I remember every lonely rainy night. I had so many things to tell you, but I always thought I had time. Now the rain keeps asking questions, and the answers ain't mine. The rain knows what I never said. It hears every word inside my head. Every tear that I try to hide, every memory I keep locked inside. The rain knows what I never said about the love and the life we had. If these old clouds could carry my voice, I'd tell you again that you were my choice. Oh, the rain knows, yeah, the rain knows what I never said. Midnight came without a warning, like it always seems to do, and every empty street outside keeps bringing me back to you. I remember summer evenings, sitting underneath that tree. You were laughing at my old guitar like it was the best thing you'd ever seen. We didn't have much money, but we had somewhere to go. We'd drive until the morning with the radio playing low. You would tell me about forever, I would smile and look away. Now forever feels much longer since you disappeared that day. The rain knows what I never said. It hears every word inside my head. Every tear that I try to hide, every lonely road I walk tonight. The rain knows what I never said. All the things I wish I told you then. If I could turn these hands of time, I'd hold you close and never say goodbye. Oh, the rain knows, yeah, the rain knows what I never said. There's a blue light in the distance, shining through the pouring rain. And every time that thunder rolls, I hear your voice again. I remember your old blue jacket hanging beside the door. I remember how you used to smile when I came home tired and poor. You never asked for anything, you never needed much. Sometimes love is quiet, sometimes love is just a touch. I wish I had another evening, just another hour or two. I'd sit beside you in the silence and let the silence speak to you. The rain knows what I never said, all the things that still remain unsaid. Every I love you left behind, every moment playing in my mind. The rain knows what I never said, it knows the tears beneath this bed. If the night could give me one more chance, I'd hold your hand and ask you to dance. Oh, the rain knows, yeah, the rain knows what I never said. Now the whiskey's getting colder and the fire's getting low, but I ain't ready for the morning. There's nowhere else I need to go. I hear the tires on the highway rolling slowly through the rain. Every car that passes by me feels like calling out your name. Maybe somewhere beyond the darkness you can hear this old guitar. Maybe every broken melody can travel where you are. So tonight I'm gonna play it like I never played before. Every note will carry memories, every chord will open doors. If I could talk to you tonight, I'd tell you I was wrong. I'd tell you that I missed you every night you had been gone. I'd tell you that the little things were everything to me. Your voice across the kitchen, your shadow underneath the tree. I'd tell you that I loved you, I'd tell you that I cared. I'd tell you all the things I was too afraid to share. And if you couldn't answer, I wouldn't need you to. I'd just sit there in the silence and remember being with you. I found your old guitar today. Sitting in the corner where you left it. The strings were dusty, the wood was cold, but when I touched it, I swear I could hear your voice. I remember when you played it late at night beneath the porch light, while the rain came down so softly and the moon was shining bright. I was just a little boy then, sitting close beside your chair, listening to every single note floating slowly through the air. You never needed fancy words, you never needed a crowd. That old guitar could say the things you never said out loud. You'd close your eyes and play that blues, and I'd watch you with a smile, never knowing those little moments would stay with me a lifetime. Your old guitar still sings, even though you're gone. Every broken string remembers every night you played that song. Your old guitar still sings when the midnight rain comes down, and every note reminds me of the best man I ever found. Your old guitar still sings. And somehow, Dad, I still hear you. I remember your old fingers, callous from the years. You bend those strings so slowly, like you were turning pain into tears. Sometimes you played for happiness, sometimes you played when you were sad. Sometimes you didn't say a word, you just let that guitar talk back. I didn't understand it then, I thought it was just a song. But now that you're not here with me, I know what those songs were all along. They were stories about your life, about the road you had to walk, about the things you couldn't tell me, but somehow managed to talk. Your old guitar still sings, even though you're gone. Every broken string remembers every night you played that song. Your old guitar still sings when the midnight rain comes down, and every note reminds me of the best man I ever found. Your old guitar still sings. And somehow, Dad, I still hear you. Guitar cry tonight. Let every note carry a memory. Let every bend say what words never could. I found an old photograph tucked inside the guitar case. You were younger in that picture, with a smile across your face. You were holding that old guitar, standing beside your car, looking like the whole wide world was waiting where you are. I stared at that photograph for longer than I should, trying to recognize the young man before he became my father. I wondered what you dreamed about, what kind of man you'd be, before life gave you responsibility. give your children a better place. I never asked you about those dreams. I never asked you what you lost. I was too busy growing up to understand the cost. Now I'm older than you were in some of those old photographs, and I finally understand why sometimes you couldn't laugh. Life can make a strong man tired. Life can make a good man quiet. But you still picked up that guitar whenever your heart needed to fight it. You played beneath the porch light while the whole town went to sleep. And somehow every melody found a place inside of me. Your old guitar still sings, and the world is dressed in blue, sitting in the corner where you left it. The strings were dusty, the wood was cold, but your old guitar still sits there, right where you left it, covered underneath the dust, like it's waiting for you to come home. Your old guitar still sits there by the window in the hall. 6 old strings and a wooden case, waiting like it always did before. I haven't touched it in years, Dad. I was scared of what I'd hear, because every note you used to play still brings your voice so near. There are scratches on the body, there's a crack beside the sound, but every mark tells a story about the life you lived around. You never played for strangers, you never needed any fame. You'd sit beneath that porch light and softly play my name. Your old guitar still sits there, waiting for your hands. And every Father's Day I finally understand. You left me more than memories, you left me every song. And when I play those 6 old strings, I know you're playing along. Your old guitar still sits there, and somehow it keeps you here with me. I remember summer evenings when the air was warm and still. You'd sit outside after supper at the bottom of the hill. The radio was playing blues, the sunset turned the sky to gold. You tell me stories about your father, stories I've forgotten to hold. said your own dad taught you how to play those simple chords, and you promised you'd teach me someday when I wasn't such a stubborn boy. I laughed and said I didn't care. I wanted to go outside. I didn't know the greatest lessons were sitting right there by my side. Funny how we lose the things we never thought we'd lose. Funny how the smallest moments become the ones we choose. Your old guitar still sits there, waiting for your hands. And every Father's Day I finally understand. You left me more than memories. You left me every song. And when I play those 6 old strings, I know you're playing along. Your old guitar still sits there, and somehow it keeps you here with me. Tonight I opened up the case. The room was dark and cold. I brushed away the dust and touched the wood I used to hold. My fingers found the first old chord, the one you taught me years ago. And suddenly I heard your voice. Take it slow, son. Let the feeling show. So I played that little melody you used to play at night. And for a moment I could see you sitting underneath that light. You weren't standing on a stage. You weren't playing for a crowd. But when you played that old guitar, you always made me proud. Yeah. Take it slow, just like you taught me, Dad. There's a photograph beside the case. You're holding that guitar, you're smiling like you knew somehow I'd keep it when you were gone. I remember taking that picture. I thought it was nothing much, just another Sunday afternoon, just another day with Dad. If I had known how precious that little moment would become, I'd have stayed there for hours. I wouldn't have wanted to run. I'd have asked you all your stories. I'd have listened to every word. I'd have asked about the songs you loved and every lesson you had learned. Your old guitar still sits there, waiting for your hands. And every Father's Day I finally understand. You left